Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow, and welcome to Dream Island. Now I thought I'd take you for a bit of a walk around an Indian festival that's happening today. So we're going to have a walk through Dream Island right behind me, and out to the park to check out this festival. Dream Island is probably the closest thing to Universal Studios in Florida and in California, and kind of close to Disney World or Disneyland, but a Russian version of it. And when you first come right off the metro from the main road, you get some water fountains, and you can see everybody coming and going from the main building. Now I know I'm at the right place because I got a big flag here, India Day. Now it's actually been held over 4 days, but I've come on the last day, and also the most sunniest day weather-wise. It's been cloudy and rainy for the last few days, so I thought I'd leave it till today to come out here and check it out. There's a lady getting a nice photo taken against the backdrop of this castle. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Let's head on inside. I've actually been wanting to make a video here at Dream Island for quite a long time. I've been trying to contact the PR department for this park to try to get tickets, because the day pass tickets are not cheap in terms of theme park tickets for Russia. So I will eventually come here and make a tour of the theme park. It's an entire theme park with roller coasters built indoors, which obviously with winter in Russia, you wouldn't really be able to have outdoor theme parks. So this Dream Island place is quite unique. After walking through security and a few formalities to get inside, here we are in Dream Island Park. So the first thing that you kind of notice is just how big this place is. And it feels like you're walking in streets, but you're actually indoors with this almighty big roof that covers over the whole building. And there's 2 different streets that you can walk down, and there's multiple levels as well. I've actually been here a couple of times before, but I've never actually been to the theme park. I've just come here for a walk and to walk in the gardens outside, which is where we'll head after we walk out of the building here. And it's just impressive in itself how big it is and how huge the actual structure is. And then further at the back is the entire theme park, all built indoors. Along with this being a theme park, it's also a shopping center, and there's quite a few of the name brand stores in here, very similar to a lot of the suburban shopping centers through Moscow. There's also lots of cafes and restaurants. There's also a very big food court as well. And it's just, if you've never been before and you walk in for the first time, it's just overwhelming how big it is. And how big this roof is that covers over the whole complex. Because as you're walking around, you know, you've got that feeling that you're outside, but really you're completely enclosed. So November, December, January through winter, you could easily show up here and you wouldn't even know that it's winter in Russia. As you walk close to the entrance to the theme park, they've then got these big fountains here that actually play music. I think it's every 30 minutes or so. They do a water fountain show. And there's this huge building here with Moscow written on it. So I think this may replicate one of the buildings in Moscow. I'm not sure which one, so if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I'm not up on every building in Moscow, what it looks like and what the name is, but have a look on this side. It really doesn't feel like you're indoors. I think as you walk around, there is actually themes to each part of the Dream Island. Now, there is actually the guards from London right here, so perhaps this is the England section. And maybe the buildings are kind of replicating that as you look around. David, if you're watching, I was going to go to an Italian restaurant, but it seems like it's closed. There's definitely nobody inside, so it's either closed during the day or it's closed altogether. One more shout out for you, David. I was going to come for pizza Napoli, but that's also closed. Has all the Italians left Russia? I have a question for everybody, and if you want to comment what the answer is, it'd be super interesting. Now, this store right here is called Modi. Now, I'm actually not going to go in there. It's kind of a themed store that's got candy and different things, but I wonder what the reference is to Modi and the festival I'm going to. So after taking a bit of a walk around, I've caught the fountains and they're playing a little bit of music. Now I think it's the Venetian in Las Vegas that this is meant to mimic. I'm not too sure. Obviously it's not probably quite as spectacular, but just the fact they've got a water fountain show inside in a shopping center theme park here in Russia. It's pretty cool. They got some music playing as well. It's pretty neat. It looks like since I walked in and out of the theme park, the clouds have got a little bit darker. Hopefully the rain will hold off a little bit longer. Now, any day of the week, this park is really very nice just to come for a walk through after you've been in the theme park, or if you're just coming to the park generally. It's right by the riverbank, off in the distance behind the trees, but today, being that it's the India Day festival, there is thousands and thousands of people here, and this is the fourth day of the event. Now, of course, this is the weekend, so naturally more people will come on Saturday or Sunday, but there really is a lot of things going on and a lot of people here. There's also a map of the park right here and all the events going on, and there is a ton of things that you can attend. There's also some master classes and just general events that you can get involved in, but there's a lot to see. We'll just do a bit of a general walk around and check out the park. It's really interesting, the fascination with India and how popular this event is. Especially, I've been to some other different festivals in Moscow, and just the sheer crowds of people here. Now, most people have braved the weather thinking it's not going to rain, so hopefully it'll hold off and be nice. There is actually lots and lots of market stalls, and naturally everything is Indian related and things that are more than likely imported from India to Russia. But it's just amazing, the fascination with India and how, you know, so many people are turning out to this kind of an event. And you can see how far down the path here all these tents go. And I think it was advertised that there was 200 different vendors here. And it definitely looks like it just walking down this first path. Perhaps Indian furniture is your thing. This would be interesting. I would think that this is all imported from India. There's more than likely someone locally that's got a shop and selling these things. They're pretty cool though, the engravings on them and how they look. There's a stall here with different herbal remedies, and you can also smell the incense. But there is a lot to see here. Maybe there's something I'm missing out on with Indian remedies and medicines and tablets. There is a lot of people crowding around this one stall, and they're doing a roaring trade, it seems. There is actually a few different stages set up with dancing and performances going on. Now, from what I can see though, most of these girls are all Russians. Maybe they attend different classes to learn these dances, but it's definitely a bit of a crowd that they've gathered here, and everybody's certainly enjoying it. I don't want to get too close here because they've actually got the colour festival going on, where they tend to spray everybody with like a chalk, and everybody comes out nice and colourful. They're playing some pretty interesting music. And I think a lot of people hopefully came dressed for this, and knowing they're going to get absolutely covered in this, I think it's chalk or sugar or something. but everybody is kind of caked in it looking around, and everyone's really interested in this, but people don't want to get a little bit closer or you're going to end up part of the event. It does look like fun, but I'm not sure if I can manage cleaning everything off my clothes later. I would think it's all washable and it's all harmless what they're throwing around, but it's really interesting. People just sprinkling it everywhere on top of people. And I hope some people realize that they're doing this and everyone's enjoying themselves. I've come down to the other side of the park now, and just these stalls just keep on going and going, and there is that many people. Now, one thing that's important in Moscow is there's between 15 and 17 million people. So if they hold an event anywhere in Moscow or Moscow region, naturally there's going to be a big crowd of people. My favorite flickering lights, of course. Anywhere I go, they've got these different lights, but they've got fresh mangoes here and mango juice. How nice does this look? And there is actually food stalls. I've got to find them yet, walking around. Hopefully I can come across them. The other popular thing that everybody likes to buy, I think, are saris. And have a look at all the ladies trying to get in there to find one. I think ultimately it saves you the price of flying to India, and you can come buy one at the event here. And there's another stall of them over here as well. I think it's just generally Indian themed clothing, but it seems very popular, and all the ladies trying to get in there to find one. One of the other traditions in Moscow is when there's free food, there's a long line, and one of the organizers of the event here has put on some food and drinks, and there's a tent here where they're serving the dishes. But have a look at the line. It wraps all the way around this side, and then it wraps all the way down the footpath on this side. But this is very normal in Moscow. Anytime there's free food, there's going to be a line, and it's a guarantee. But I'm sure it's very nice food. So there's a pretty cool guy up here on stage teaching dances, and there's a lady obviously dressed up in national costume, but this guy is very fun, and he's got everybody in the crowd doing this dance along, and he's teaching people basically the Russian Indian version of the dance by speaking in Russian, explaining the moves. But all the people are getting right into this here, and it's super fun. What I think is the most fun is the fact that it's a guy up there dancing and teaching the moves, and everybody's having a good laugh and a smile, and everybody's super happy and in a good mood. Just like any of the events that I attend in Moscow, when there's food stalls, there seems to be a bit of a bigger interest in it than in maybe some of the other stalls. Here's another one with mangoes, and they're doing mango juice, it looks like, as well. Yeah, check that out, mango juice right there. Nice. I wonder where the mangoes are coming from. I don't think it'd be interesting where they're from. Just have a look at how many people there are. There's so much fascination with Indian items and products and food and jewelry. It's really, this is actually a huge park, and this is spread out, you know, over quite a lot of acres of land, and just the lines and the interest for the food here. It's really so many people. So as I walk around a little bit more, I do hope you find this video interesting and a little bit of an insight into India Day here in Moscow. Hello! And I hope you find this walk around nice. We've gone from blue skies to raining, but it's no problems. I'm going to walk around a little bit more and see if we can find something a little bit different or unique as I walk around a bit further. I've come to a bit of a quieter place in the park, and I'm talking very softly because there's a guy just in front of me here standing up doing a meditation class. Now, hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible and just be not interfering, but part of his class, and everybody's obviously involved in the meditation, is he's walking on nails right here. Now that's just crazy. Now I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, not to interrupt, but it's pretty insane to see this. Now, has anybody tried to walk on nails before? It's quite a feat. Sorry about the joke. Quite a feat. So the rain is slowly starting to fall, and these clouds are getting a little bit darker, but everybody is really enjoying the dancing here. And it's kind of interesting, now there's some ladies up on stage there, and they're doing these demonstrations and dance-alongs, and there's just so much interest in this. The food is one of the things that I really wanted to see, and everywhere I've walked there is lines to get to the food, and it's very difficult to even get in there to have a look at what's on offer. There is all these different cafes, and from what I understand, most of these actually have cafes or restaurants somewhere in Moscow, so it's definitely authentic local food, or local Indian food, I guess is the word. Check that out. The food stalls are all very simply set up. I think a lot of the food is made off site and then brought here, and it's all warm in these bain-maries. But there's some nice looking food, that's for sure. You can see slowly all the umbrellas going up, and it's getting a little bit darker here at the moment, but it's not deterring anybody. Everybody still seems happy walking around. There's some more different dishes right here. Yeah, the one thing I like to see is all of the Indian staff working here. There's a few of the stalls that have got Russian staff serving the food, and it's not quite the same. This one's a little bit quieter. Let's see what they've got. Looks like some kind of butter chicken, and it's very nice. I think a lot of people knew something I didn't today with the weather this afternoon with all the umbrellas. Must be the only one in Moscow not carrying an umbrella today, but it's not a problem. You can see again, lots of crowds at different stalls. Okay everybody, as I slowly make my way out of Dream Island Park, you can see the water fountains behind and the castle. I really hope you've had a good time watching this video, and it was interesting, and seeing what an India Day event is like here in Moscow, Russia. I thought it was pretty cool. The food for me is the bit that I like, but you know, I like eating and going to supermarkets and things like that. So lots of different activities as well, lots of singing, dancing, lots and lots of smaller activities. More than just the things that were for sale. There was a lot of vendors and markets. So yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up as the rain starts coming down again. I am on Telegram if anyone wants to follow me on Telegram. Traveling with Russell channel. Link is in the description. I'm very active there, post a lot of photos and things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. And I chat and reply to a lot of comments. If you want to join me on Telegram, go ahead. If you want to put a comment for this video, is there anything that you like that you might have seen? Maybe Indian food, maybe curries, maybe you like the different yoga activities that they had. Maybe you like some of the different herbal medications and spices. Is India somewhere you've traveled to before? Let me know. Okay, as I'm trying to navigate these steps and more fountains in front of me, I put another video for you to watch right after this one. You can click that now if you want to stay on the channel and watch something else. And hopefully I'll make it to the metro before I get wet and I'm off on another adventure. Bye everybody.